Welcome to the Dental Breakdown Show with Christian White. Mr. White is the CEO of White & Associates Practice Consulting. Better business, better dentistry. This podcast strives to help break down the current and everyday issues within the dental industry. In each podcast, we discuss a topic on dentistry with respected industry professionals, dentists, and other relevant special guests. Our goal is to help provide you valuable insights for your dental practice. We thank you for listening today. From the dental chair to the beach chair, wherever you are listening, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Dental Breakdown Show. Now take it away, Christian.
Let's welcome our guest to the podcast today, Colin Benecke of Insperity. Colin, thank you for being a guest on the Dental Breakdown Show today.
Absolutely, Christian. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your productive schedule to be with us today. You've got a lot of great information that our listeners are really going to soak up. So let's get to it. Colin, why don't you start off by telling all of our listeners a little bit about yourself and maybe a real short bio?
Yeah, absolutely. So I originally grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, small family, and went to high school and spent my time in college in St. Louis. Started my career young at the age of 24, the print and digital advertising world of Yellow Pages and yellowpages.com. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with that. And then, so I was on the inside sales team, got an opportunity for a promotion. I was relocated to Minnesota and focused more on the digital side of helping small businesses be more found in regards to their digital presence. And then generating traffic via activity phone calls to get more business. After about 3.5 years of that, I was then recruited over to start working with small businesses on setting up 401k retirement plans, really helping small business owners, help them personally prepare for retirement, a husband and her wife, or really enhance their benefit package or offering to their employees that they never thought was feasible or was just too far out of the realm for them to fully set up. So that was a great benefit in helping those businesses. After about 2 years of working with those small companies on retirement plans, I was recruited over to Insperity to really sell HR solutions, employee benefits, and risk management through a concept we have developed called P.E.O, which stands for Professional Employer Organization. I made the move over here right before COVID, and it's absolutely been one of the best moves of my career, but also just helping small businesses really navigate those challenges of owning, operating, continuing to grow, and what legislation and a pandemic can cause to a young entrepreneur.
And yes, there were a few waves during the pandemic that were created, Colin.
Yes.
Just a few. So maybe real quick, tell us a little bit about Insperity, just real quick, just so all of our listeners kind of have an idea about Insperity, because I know there's probably a lot of people who maybe have not heard of you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Insperity we're an HR solutions company based out of Houston, Texas. We're actually probably one of the larger companies you've never heard of before, to your point. And we help small to medium-sized businesses get access to Fortune 100 level benefits, really that HR infrastructure that they don't know how to piece together themselves. And again, our focal point is those small to medium-sized businesses that really just are looking for better ways to grow faster, make more money, and recruit and retain top talent, to really give them a chance to compete against, in our market, Land O'Lakes, Best Buy, Target, Cargill, all these large corporations that have spent this time building these technologies and these layers of HR. We help a small business automatically get access to that within, a client service agreement. And Paul Sarvati, who is our current CEO, started the company back in 1986 when there were only 3 employees. And he actually conceptualized this idea of P.E.O. So he had to go through battling with the government legislation to understand, how do we make this thing work and what is the benefit to the small companies? And he's been doing that again since 1986, and he is still our current CEO. So from 3 employees up to about 4,200. he has led the ship, and that really just shows how important he is to this industry.
Amen. Helping the small guy compete. I like
Yep,
that. I like that a lot.
absolutely.
So the most important question I'm going to ask you, okay? So
Mhm.
get ready. How does Colin Benecke make an impact on the smaller healthcare business owners' business or practice, like a dentist? What is there that you do that really helps them, compete?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think we can agree that the landscape of just whether it's a dental practice or just a doctor's office in general, corporate private investors have
Mhm.
found that, hey, this is a really great place for them to buy the mom and pop shops out and add to ultimately their um, scale of businesses that they
Mhm.
own and they work with. So my job is to really leverage and the benefit packages, the Fortune 100 technology that we have to give those small companies an opportunity to fight, but also have a very similar offering that's cost effective to meeting that business needs. So we really help the private practice keep their employees with the capabilities to attract from those corporate facilities that those employees are looking for more of that mom and pop style of culture that they're not getting at the corporate office. So if they were to move over to a dental office that is leveraging Insperity, it'd be a very similar onboarding in regards to the professionalism, the
Mhm.
benefits that would offer would meet the employee's needs. And to be able to offer that type of package to compete for that talent, really it keeps them in the fight for as long as it's possible. And then we help them in regards to succession planning. Rather than giving it to those large corporate conglomerates, is there anybody in the family that we can help pass this off to? And it's proven that if they do end up looking to sell that business, that if you have proven HR, strategic HR, the value add to that price is usually multiplied by 2 or 3x.
Mhm.
So that's another added benefit if, in fact, they end up looking to get out of the business.
Mhm. That is an added benefit. Um, so then in terms of the benefits package that I should be offering, I know that every practice is going to be different. Every practice is unique, but if you were to kind of generalize, what should the private healthcare business owner be offering? Maybe could you comment on that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, since COVID happened, really having a robust benefits package and even higher pay is a must. But really getting into the nitty gritty of the ancillary benefits, the long term, short term disability, life, and personal accident. If you think about your workforce, you might have individuals who are first starting their job at 26, 27 years old. And you might have some really great employees that are experienced and been with you for 25 to 30 years. Now, the needs of their um, health or benefit package is going to be very different. So I think when you look at your overall demographic of employees, you need to have something in place that fits every single one of them and their needs. So having that well-rounded package, multiple health plans to fit those age groups effectively,
Hmm.
short-term, long-term disability, just in case anything was to happen, you can make sure that they're taken care of or they're getting the assistance they need through those policies or those plans. Personal accident insurance and life insurance. You never know what could happen to one of your employees from a life event, and it feels better, I can tell you, on the end where that whatever you put in place has really changed the impact or the scale
Hmm.
of that life event for the better. So I think having a well-rounded benefits package and then ultimately retirement. Not only is it good for a business owner because then they can put money in to a retirement
Hmm.
plan, but then allowing the employees to plan for their retirement and doing it effectively, and especially at a young age. And a lot of them are very cost effective to a business when talked through with the strategy and how those tax implications for putting those benefits in place could actually outweigh ultimately the cost.
Hmm. So the benefits, the well-rounded package, the retirement piece. If I am a business owner and I'm sitting there looking at my team and I've got a great team and I love the people who come and who are working for me. This would be a way to kind of put on, a way to retain them, if I could use that word. It's
Absolutely.
you can come work for me and I will provide, I'll make sure some of these other areas which of your life, like you were talking with the life insurance or some of these other things, could be covered for you. I think that would be pretty attractive for, staff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't really know how impactful it is until a life event like that happens and an employee comes back and says, "Hey, I really appreciate that you had put this in place. My former employer, had never done that before." And, you never want that instance to happen, but at the same time, when you made an impact during that event, I mean, that's really ultimately what you do it for.
Hmm. People don't know how much you care until they find out how much you care.
The Dental Breakdown Show, sponsored by White & Associates Practice Consulting. Better business, better dentistry. They are a practice management and consulting firm for dentists and other healthcare-related businesses. Their sole purpose is to implement proven strategies through online and practice visits that result in the personal and professional success of the dentist and his or her team.
This is Colin Benecke of Insperity. I am a business performance advisor dedicated to making my clients' needs my number one priority. I've been lucky enough to start my career in helping small companies, but Insperity has really allowed me to take that passion and really deliver it in a way I couldn't imagine. If you're looking for a health benefits analyst and to fit your employees' needs, I am your guy.
So let me ask you this question then. So I'm a private dentist and I'm trying to figure out my benefits piece. What makes me pick up the phone and call you? Colin, what makes me want to work with you? Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I think we can agree. Just like what you offer to, a dental office or a
Hmm.
doctor's practice is, you got to keep the staff happy. Realistically, we know that in any type of medical practice, it's the employees that are working every day in the trenches that are getting the people in the seats of those doctors. That's what keeps
Hmm.
the light on.
Yes.
And back in my days of selling digital advertising, when I worked with doctors' offices, you got to get the mom there because then the kids and the family will follow. So I like to think of, your office manager, whether it is a male or female, but they're kind of
Hmm.
like the mom in that business. And as long as you keep them happy and the rest of the staff is working well together, effectively and efficiently in their job, you're going
Hmm.
to have a great culture. You're going to have a great outcome, not only with your clients, but your employees. And working with Insperity, we try to really make sure that that person who is in that role is extremely effective in what they do. And what I mean by that is leveraging our technology to really take a lot of the administrative duties that could burn that person out and give them some time back to where, hey, I'm not sitting here processing payroll or looking at how do I finish this Excel with people's PTO requests. That's already happened through technology. It's where can we help get our claims processed so we can get paid faster, so we can get more of those families in the chairs, so we can make some more money and we can continue to grow and focus on revenue generating tasks rather than just the low key kind of administrative.
Hmm.
And then you complement that with, great benefits at a good cost and just making sure that those families now are fully covered and, heaven forbid, COVID happens again. And, if you don't have benefits for your staff and their husband or their wife loses those benefits, that could cause them a reason to start looking at a different job.
Hmm.
So why not offer the benefit for that retention, even if they don't elect it immediately? You
Hmm.
never know what could happen in their life that could force them to hop on your plan. And if you don't offer it, you might lose that employee.
Correct. Life is crazy. You turn the light off and the next day you turn it on and who knows what's going to happen.
Yep.
That's yeah, it's an interesting piece because as I'm sitting here listening to you, I mean, it's almost like I think you would agree with me. The uniqueness of what you're doing, Colin, is you're putting the people ahead of the benefits. Yes, the
Yeah.
benefits are important, but it's not all about the benefits. It's all about, okay, how do we take care of the people? Because if we take
Absolutely.
care of the people really well, then wow, there's a feeling of coming to work every day wow, that the doctor or, the doctor or group of doctors, they really care about me, and it
Hmm.
shows. And, there's a couple different ways to do that, but one of the ways is to offer some type of a benefit piece to your team members, so they know that there's a vested interest in them from you as a business owner.
Absolutely. I mean, if I was an athlete, and anytime your coach would indirectly empower you with support, you automatically hit the field and you played better. And same thing for a business owner. If you're automatically and indirectly giving those, I don't even want to say words of empathy, but just like, hey, we're here for you. We really truly do care about you.
Hmm.
And they have no reason to look for another job. They're not going to be unhappy. It's going to be a great culture. You're going to continue to retain all those employees. And I mean, realistically, the people are what drive that bottom line. And that's where Insperity tries to be a key
Hmm.
differentiator, is making sure you got the right people on the right seats, doing the right job, and can do it extremely efficiently so you can continue to operate at a high level.
Hmm. I think you would agree with me. The culture in, a private healthcare practice like a dental practice has never been more important than it has right now. People need to walk in and understand that, okay, this is a great place to work. Everybody in here is going to heaven. Great. I'd love to work here. That becomes exceedingly important, because I think you and I can agree, Colin, that we've walked into situations before where it's like, okay, I am not going to work here, or this is not for me. And you can feel it rather instantly.
Yeah, it's almost like, when you walk into an old house and they still have wallpaper rather than painted walls. I mean, you can kind of look at it and your skin starts to crawl. You're like, oh, something's off here. But it really is telling, and I'm sure you see it a ton. And then,
Yes.
typically in speaking and working with, medical
Hmm.
practices, they do enjoy the, hey, we've been doing it for 5 years. Hey, we've been doing it like this for 10 years, 15, 20. Well, unfortunately, with the generation you have coming in and how quickly COVID made businesses where you have to start benchmarking what you do and continuously improving, you have to continue to change and adapt and overcome, because it's going to get stale. And this generation won't sit there and say, well, I'm going to sign up for this job for the next 30 years of my life. It's no, I'm going to try this out for about 18 months. If they can't give me a roadmap to succeed or be effective in this business or valued, I'm going to go ahead and start looking for somewhere else to work.
Hmm.
And it's just really changed the landscape. And I'm sure you see that a ton when you're working with your clients in different practices.
I do. It's, retaining staff has never been, excuse me, more important than it has right now. And, doing the same thing we did 5 years ago and trying to do it now is just not applicable anymore at all. Because there's just, the marketplace is demanding that we do some things differently, or we should tweak some things so that we can have some better results. And the people who work there can feel that.
Right.
And, in a dental practice, I mean, we're focused on tooth dust, and we're focused on, let me get this little thing and wedge it in your mouth. Here, come here, open your mouth. And
Yeah.
it's more than that. It has to be more than that. And, the patient is not the vehicle that wheels the tooth into the operatory. It can't be like that anymore, Colin.
Right. Absolutely. Spot on.
So let me ask you this question, Colin. So let's say, all right, I am a dental practice. I'm a dentist. I have met with Colin, and now we're starting the whole new patient experience. We have a new patient experience in dentistry. We have a way we'd like that to go. So tell me about how your new patient piece works, with Colin at Insperity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is one of the reasons why I thoroughly enjoy working at Insperity. It's a complete different experience for our clients than, let's say, the other competitors or previous companies I worked at. Um, I can say that client retention and experience is an area of detail, I personally pride myself on, but so does my company. And I appreciate the fact that my clients don't want to leave or even look at other companies in regards to leaving Insperity. They know they're appreciated. They get their requests taken care of with a timely fashion, especially if they are of the highest importance. And our service team delivers in a timely fashion that allows those employers to get the peace of mind that they need. Ultimately in Insperity, we pride ourselves on not just being an HR solutions, but we're a true partner to entrepreneurs of this great country. And we want to help them succeed so the communities they live in can prosper and build off that for the next generation. And realistically, most of the clients that I'm working with or having a strategy with, they want the same thing, but I can just bring a different level of, hey, I know you already have these pieces in place, but let's reimagine a different way of doing it that not only could be better for your current staff that are handling these duties, but we can also bring our immense buying power down to a small business that you just can't be looked at in the same light in regards to health insurance like we can make you. That really provides a lot of power to getting great plans and then ultimately a great solution that can help this business really go from, I like to say a four-cylinder engine to a V8 overnight.
I like that. So it's kind of like I'm a dentist and you can take me from the level that I'm at and you can come to me and say, Christian, we can take you from a basic level and get you up to a Fortune 100 level by utilizing, our tools and our technology. And here's what that looks like. And here's what the roadmap for that is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, they already have the pieces in place for the most part. It's how can we just make them a little bit better and enhance in areas that they just didn't know they had the ability to. A P.E.O. is still relatively new. Only about 10% of the small business market knows about what a P.E.O. is. So it's still just telling the story. And you have to find not only a financial fit, but a philosophical fit with these entrepreneurs and these business owners that, hey, if I'm going to go ahead and keep these employees, I have to invest in them, and whether that's culture, whether that's time, or what we provide, because it is a true partnership between that owner and those employees, that they're on the same line and that the culture does breathe success and family.
I like that word partnership a lot. When we're working with our clients, that's an important word. The staff come to the office. They're the ones that make it work. They're the ones that talk to the patient about the diagnosis from the doctor. They're the ones that help the patient understand it. They're the ones that help the patient say yes. The doctor has a big part to play in that as well, but the staff do all the little things after the doctor does the exam to get the patient, to say yes. That's a huge piece. And those people who are working for you need to know that behind the scenes that they're well taken care of to a specific level, and they know that.
Yep, absolutely.
The Dental Breakdown Show, sponsored by White & Associates Practice Consulting. Better business, better dentistry. They are a practice management and consulting firm for dentists and other healthcare-related businesses. Their sole purpose is to implement proven strategies through online and practice visits that result in the personal and professional success of the dentist and his or her team.
This is Colin Benecke of Insperity. I am a business performance advisor dedicated to making my clients' needs my number one priority. I've been lucky enough to start my career in helping small companies, but Insperity has really allowed me to take that passion and really deliver it in a way I couldn't imagine. If you're looking for a health benefits analyst and to fit your employees' needs, I am your guy.
My last question, all right? Colin Benecke works at Insperity. Okay, great. Colin, tell us some other things about yourself. Give me a little bit I'm going to peek behind the curtain a little bit at Colin. Tell me some personal things about you, that you don't mind sharing with all of our listeners, just so they, get a better understanding of who Colin is.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to view myself as pretty personable. When I meet new people, ultimately my goal in life is to help others succeed. And I try to carry that out, not only professionally, but just personally, really being genuine with, those interactions. And, a couple other things. I have a wide variety of hobbies. I do like the outdoors. I like hunting and fishing, especially moving here to Minnesota. A lot of that horizon has really expanded, mostly on the fishing side. I'm definitely a sports fanatic. I have a wide variety of sports that I watch, teams that I follow that, Christian, you and the other people in our group are like, how the heck are you a Jets fan? And, how are you a Gabe fan? It is funny being from St. Louis, having teams kind of all over the place. But I've followed them for a very long time, and
Mhm.
you move somewhere else. It's like, well, I can't just change who I follow. And I like to just be loyal
Mhm.
to those teams, no matter if they're good or bad. But yeah, with traveling, I would say is probably the biggest thing I'm doing right now. I'm
Right.
31. I don't really have a lot of strings to keep me back, and
Mhm.
I try to see 2 new cities every year. I actually saw 3 this year, and then I'm planning for my first time to ever go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and then also to Charleston. And then I'm also planning a trip in late 2023 with some good friends from college to go to Europe. So that'd be my first time
Mhm.
going to Europe as well. So a wide variety, but I think I have the time in my life right now where I can, not only be extremely successful, extremely genuine with the relationships that I meet, but, also I think it is important to kind of take that time and really focus on what makes me happy. And travel seems to be filling that bucket quite a bit.
Mhm. Now, Colin, one of the best cities in America that you have to visit is Fargo, North Dakota. Okay.
I,
Fun.
uh, I enjoy it more in the summer, I can tell you that.
Now, in January it can be 40 below, but come on, Colin, there's lots of fun stuff to do.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, for all of our listeners, that's kind of a fun little piece. I happen to have a lot of family from Fargo, so I got to throw that in there. Anyway, but it's always nice to meet a real live Jets fan. Colin, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Colin, I tell you, this has been great. I have had a lot of fun. And I tell you what, I have had a chance to actually get to know you. And I tell you what, for all of our listeners out there, do business with Colin. He is unbelievably great at what he does. He does such a wonderful job of hand-holding and taking his clients through the process, the whole benefits piece. He makes it almost to the point where it's not even a worry. So he does a great, great job. Colin, it has been great having you on the show today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian. And again, I appreciate it. And it's been great to get to know you. And anything I can do to continue to help not only you in working together, but any one of your clients or anybody that just has questions. I feel educating people mainly about this is the most important. If we end up doing business together, great. If I can still help you just with education, it's ultimately my goal.
And for all of our listeners, if you would like to be educated or learn more about what Colin does or get a hold of him, Colin, how can people go ahead and reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people can go to www.insperity.com/Colin, Colin .Benecke, Benecke. Or you can feel free to just email me directly. That is colin.benecke@insperity.com. And then, I like to make my cell phone readily available. And that number would be 612-812-2616.
Thank you for listening to the Dental Breakdown Show with Christian White. If you would like more information about today's topic, have a topic suggestion, or would like to be a guest, please check out the description below. Or for more videos, podcasts, and information, please visit whitedentalconsulting.com/podcast. If you liked the podcast today, please press that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification icon to become a part of the growing Dental Breakdown Show community.